All right, folks, I'm here with Gray of Canada. He is the current leader of the Canadian state in the Canadian Dominion. He is here with us today on a public interview. We're going to be talking a
What's
little bit
good?
about the recent conflicts with Floritania, and we're going to be talking about nation structure and just the man behind the title. So, Gray, it's an
Uh,
honor to have you up here with me.
thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, let's start from the beginning. How did you get into CCNet?
Oh, that goes back quite a bit. In April, like April 2022, actually, my from a different server, I was playing. You know him, Stereo, LM, and Gian. Both of those players, they were in Japan. They invited me to their town, and they said CCNet is way better than this other Earth server that we played, and that's how I got into CCNet. And since then, I think April 2022 to January of this year, I was in Japan. I was just like chilling in Japan. The town of Hachinohe, I was the mayor. That was like my nation. Then I made Canada, and I didn't really vibe with it. I mean, I can't even say vibe. The coalition screwed my nation over, so we switched to anti-coalition front alliance, whatever you want to call it. So now I'm here.
I see, I see. So, going
Mhm.
back to that Canadian Japanese conversion, once you came over to North America and started Canada, at what point did you start thinking that you were going to be at war with Floritania?
Oh, well, the thing is, within the first week of me creating the town of Nova Prospect, I had already had a Floritanian member try to camp me. I believe the reason was when I made a town prior to that just to get established in the area, and I had joined Floritania for claims and for nothing more than claims. So I had left at that point because I let that town fall and I moved all my stuff to Nova Prospect. And this guy, his name was Dan Bauren, and he started camping me from the get go. I'm like, yeah, this is kind of iffy. You know, they're in the alliance. I'm in the coalition because they were in the alliance at the time, the Floritanians. I'm like, you know, it's whatever. It's to be expected. If I'm going to make a coalition nation, I am going to have to maybe fight them if they start attacking me. But I was trying to like smooth out with Fake Four. I'm like, Fake, I don't want to fight you, man. I just want to make a builder nation, and that's my stance from the get go. Because I'm not a PvPer myself. I just like building. I like redstone, that kind of thing, and it just kind of spiraled from there, as very clearly obvious by the past few weeks, hell, even months.
So, okay, after starting Nova Prospect and all of that sort of stuff, uh, soon after you'd be embroiled with war, Floritania, and we're here now, Burning Tide conflict, all that.
Hmm.
Would you say that you've wavered in any position? So, like, for example, during the NAU crisis, when all of North America was occupied by Floritania, was there ever a moment in your mind where you thought maybe a peace is just something that the nation needs?
Honestly, peace. The thing about, I mean, me personally, I don't have as much gripes as my nation members with Fake Four, and I feel like had like if the timelines were different, we can maybe be friends because we were on pretty good terms before I made Canada. And honestly, like the thing is I would say that even if you give Fake Four peace, he'll still attack you. Because the whole reason he attacked Canada in the first place, in my humble opinion, and even Colombia by extent, is for money. I mean, that's fair. It's a game, and if he wants to siege people for money, that's fair. But it's like, even if you make peace with the man, it's either you join him or you pay him money by occupation. There's no in between. So either you join his nation, you vassal to his nation, or you can't even join his team because he'll just occupy you for a month because he'll say that you're more useful giving him money, which is actually what he told me verbatim. So I don't know,
Uh,
man. Peace with
that's
him is arguing with a brick wall, and the brick wall is very illiterate in English, unfortunately.
wow, that's one hell of a stance you got there. We
Yeah, man.
interviewed Fake earlier this month, and he posed a little bit of a similar sentiment. You guys both have confidence going into this conflict. When we started looking at it, we thought that maybe one side was a little bit warier of the other, but it seems that you guys are both ready to keep the fight on.
Yeah, man. As
Speaking
long
of,
the thing is, as long as they like, I genuinely just want to make a nice town on the server. I could care less about geopolitical warfare. The only reason he's sieging us is for the money at this point. That or he hates me personally, which I mean, that's whatever. But it
Right.
is what it is. As long as my allies keep kicking, I'm gonna keep on helping them, and they're gonna help us.
Yeah. On that sort of note, considering you've liberated Nova Prospect and I believe Colombia has been liberated.
No, Colombia we lost because we
Oh, you
had to
lost
pick
them.
between. Yeah,
Oh, I see, I see.
basically there's I actually don't know because I was asleep because I pulled an all nighter. Don't quote me on this. Actually, you're recording, so I can't even say that. But
Yeah,
if I understand correctly, I gotta clarify this. But I believe that the decision was made to focus Nova Prospect since we had better banner placement. But I could be completely wrong, and we just decided to focus Nova for whatever other reason.
I see. So
Hmm.
after this, now that this, it's perfectly fine if you don't want to answer this, but on the
Hmm.
military regard, would you say that you're going to go on the offensive next, or are you going to liberate Colombia next?
Honestly, man, I feel like I mean I have a lot of allies who are very confident in their abilities to defeat Fake Four, and you know what? In that light, if they want to go siege him, I'll help obviously because I do want to see that guy occupied so he can't attack me. But me personally, I'm gonna be focusing. I just founded a town. It's called Toronto, and I plan on making it look pretty nice. That's what I'm gonna be focusing on. Actually, my school's starting back, so I'll probably focus on that the next 3 weeks. To be
That
honest.
makes sense. Any other notes here? Wait, let me grab my notes for a second.
Hmm.
Okay, so on the note of that building town, what would you say if you're going to focus more on building? Are you going to try and bring Canada more into that light rather than sort of this kind of war-torn state that you
Yeah,
guys are
no, my
currently in?
members don't like that. I don't like that. The Colombians don't like that. It's just mad annoying when you're trying to do your own thing, and then people like him think, "Oh, I'm a Loken PvPer. I'm gonna go siege you because I want money." It's just dumb. If he just let us be, we wouldn't have this big of an issue in the first place. We wouldn't want to see him occupied so he can siege us. It's
I
not even
see.
us occupying him in terms of just, oh, I want Fake for his money. I could care less about his money. I just don't want to. Oh, hi, Fake. How are you doing, Fake? I hope you have an amazing afternoon. Actually, if you like AI trace my voice and find my house, please, please, please don't dox me. Okay, I want to have a good future, Fake for.
For the
Anyways, you were
people
saying, Michael?
for the people who
Mm-hmm.
are listening to this recording, Fake of Floritania has joined the public interviews. Now I see Fake, you
Oh,
have raised your hand. Um, I'd have to consult my Revolt, my other editor, if we want to let you up on stage. But if we want to do a debate between Grey of Canada and Fake of Floritania, that's gonna have to be other scheduled. And I know it may
yeah.
conflict with some people's ideas, but today we're just gonna focus on Grey and the interview. We already started with Fake, so we're gonna start with you.
I want to see what proto Melkrani Fake for can conjure up. It'd be like, bro, bro, bro. Oh my goodness. Okay, anyways, you're saying?
Anyway, so on that sort of national, like, staying out of war ideas, in
Mm-hmm.
the NAU crisis, we saw a little bit of disdain from the city of Halifax and the Halifax's leaders. Would you say
Mm-hmm.
that's repaired itself in this recent
Yeah.
time?
No, the thing with Halifax is that they're mad that the new nation wouldn't be called Canada, and they wanted like the LSR. It's basically short notice. I smoothed it over with them. Like Halifax and Canada are one and the same. You can't have Halifax without Canada, and you can't have Canada without Halifax. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see.
Mm-hmm.
On that sort of note, speaking of LSR,
Mm-hmm.
the new sort of LSR successor state, the American Empire, how are your
Mm-hmm.
relations with them?
I mean, honestly, man, if they want to do their own thing, by all means. But if they're going, I hear that they're in the coalition now, and I mean, all I'm saying is that Fake Four siege me for no reason, and this is what he said verbatim. I can give you screenshots. Fake, you can confirm. Actually, don't bring him up here. I don't want to hear his yapping. He said that he sieged me initially because I was a coalition nation, he was an alliance nation. So if he has no problem with that, I don't see the problem with the alliance nation sieging American Empire because they're just a coalition nation, right? I mean, that's his logic. I'm just copying it.
I see, I see.
But I mean, me
Follow.
personally, I'm focused on the defense. If my allies want to do that, I'll help them. But I'm focused on building up my town, man.
I see. Following that sort of other nations around you, how do you feel about Vinovia? Vinovia has been kind of hostile towards Canada. I know there were certain photos from your co-leader Echo about
Yeah.
Vinovia
Honestly, man,
merging.
I think Echo has come out and said this. Echo the Echo basically debated everybody into thinking that they wanted to merge into us, and he's like gaslighting us and stuff and saying, "Oh, guys, trust me, they want to merge into us." I'm like, oh, okay, man. If you really think that, go talk to them. But basically, that like broke down, and they're in the coalition now, so obviously they would fight us. But me personally, I think some of the members are pretty cool. Like Sink Turtle, he's a pretty cool guy. Like when we were fighting for Tanya and Nova Prospect that one time, he was like pretty cool, and I genuinely don't have any problems with them. Like they actually enjoy playing the game, unlike some players I know. So I have no problems with them. Even if they're fighting us, I don't really have problems with them as people, unlike some other members, some other belligerents. So I think they're fine. I think they're chill.
Again, following that train of logic, the
Hmm.
Greenlanders were
Yeah.
seized by Floritania recently. How do you feel relations towards the Greenlanders are? A formerly neutral nation, do you feel that they've turned into an anti-coalition alliance, or do you still think they're just
As long as
directly
Fake
against
4
Floritania?
stands as a threat in North America, they won't be neutral. It's that simple. Why would they be neutral if someone like Fake is in North America? It makes no sense. That's like breaking apart. Never mind. No, I don't finish that. But yeah, no, they're not neutral. They're helping us, and that's the thing. Like people are telling me, "Oh, great, you should switch to the coalition." As long as his nation is in coalition, I'm not gonna switch, and I don't even plan on switching. I like the alliance. I like Gameful Glider. He's my greatest of all time. I love Gameful Glider. If I could pick one person on CCNet to nominate for a CCNet equivalent of a Grammy, it would be Gameful Glider or Fosterzilla, even though he's in the coalition.
That's actually kind of interesting because we at S.E.E Paper we're actually thinking of doing an awards show in
Mm-hmm.
maybe later this month
Yeah,
or
I love
later
Foster Zilla,
next
man.
week.
Honestly, Foster Zilla, even though we're fighting him right now, he's probably the most, like, literally the most logical member of the coalition by far. It's actually crazy how far he outperforms his allies in terms of that. I can't give enough kudos to that guy.
Ah, okay. So, moving on from this sort of aura, there has been a lot of talk, and I know this might be a little bit uncomfortable for you, but there has been
Mm-hmm.
a lot of talk about sort of the things that you've been regarding the person who's sitting in the audience right now.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say, do you feel any remorse for the things that you've said? Like, a lot of people say that you've attacked Fake, you've attacked his nation members. Personally, I from the paper, I just want to get the view from you. Do you feel this is unfounded in any way?
I think that if you look that far into a person and you're like, oh, yeah, like, great mates, you gotta teach me how to. It's obviously trying to be a personal job. I think it's just retarded, man. If you're gonna be like that, like, it's just you take it from a Minecraft beef to a personal beef, and that's why I went gloves off. But many of the things I said out of anger, and I wouldn't say that regularly. I'm not that type of person. I'm afraid Fake Four edged me into crashing out a little bit there. But me personally, like, I feel like I don't know, man. The things I said, they do carry some weight to it. It's not like I'm saying it for the sake of saying it. But at the same time, I do admit I went a little too far. And I do apologize to you personally, Fake Four, because you are such an amazing person on the comic craft community.
Ah, we're seeing a little bit of compassion from Fake 4 in the current chat.
Mhm.
Uh, on a lighter note, um, so a lot of people have been looking at your channel in the current CCNet broadcasting server.
Hmm.
The music that you've posted there has raised a lot of eyebrows. Do you have anything to say surrounding that?
About Kanye West? Really? Oh my goodness, bro. I think that Kanye West, the things he's saying is very bad. I don't like the new Kanye, but I like Graduation. That's a really good album. I like Late Registration. Late Registration is such a good album as well, and College Dropout. When I say I like Kanye West, I'm not talking about Ye. I'm not talking about anything he released after I think his last album was Donda, bro. After he did that interview where he said that thing, he's dead to me, bro. I don't support any of that. I have Jewish friends, I have Muslim friends, bro. I don't condone anything that Kanye West said. I do not relate myself in any way to Kanye West. I just like some of his older albums.
I see, I see.
Also, yeah, to everybody listening, you should look at my news channel. Listen to that Lauren Hill song; it's so good. I have it on vinyl. It sounds actually peak. Anyways, you're saying?
So to follow more on that nations around you perspective, how do you feel about I want to say new nation of Old Spice, but
Mm-hmm.
still the same nation of the cultist empire? They've been
I
your
like
border nation for a while. How do you feel about
the cultists, man. They haven't done anything to wrong me. They haven't done anything wrong me. If anything, they've helped me. Obviously, they can't help against Flortania because of the treaty, so I can't hold that against them. And if obviously they don't want to fight, I can't force them to fight. So I'm still on very good terms with them. I like the cultists. I like many of the cultist members. Deathmaker is somebody I personally respect on the server. So yeah, no issues with them.
that? I see, I see. Um,
Mm-hmm.
around surrounding that sort of again nations around you, how do you feel about the American Syndicate? Now, been a lot of talk around American
Oh yeah,
Syndicate.
AS, they're the goats.
Yeah, we saw a little bit more activity coming from them. A lot of people before accused them of being a little bit of a ghost nation. Now, with activity perking up around that area, how do you feel about the new American Syndicate revival of sorts?
I feel like the two major mega alliances, those being the anti-coalition front and the coalition, they have their like ebbs and flows of activity. And I feel like this is sort of where the anti-coalition front gets more active from what I've seen the past few years of playing. So I don't know, man. They did help a lot at Nova Prospect. I'm very appreciative of Linan and man, I can pronounce some of their usernames, but I'm appreciative to everybody who showed up on from American Syndicate to Nova Prospect, and I think that they're going to do great things, and I'm willing to help. I am going to help them as much as they need because they are my allies, and I respect that.
Shifting from the world views, let's move a little bit
Mm-hmm.
more on the inside of Canada. I asked this in our
Mm-hmm.
last interview with the Ironwood leaders. How would you feel your government of Canada is set up?
The way we have it, I mean, we don't really like LARPing, to be honest. Like, I'm the leader, and I have the final say. But I don't really use that because I like to let my co-leaders and I decide on things. Basically, think of it as like an autocratic oligarchy. Like we vote on things in co-leadership, but at the end of the day, I am the leader. It's not like I have it's not like I'm on equal status as the co-leaders, but then again, I value their opinion more than I value my own because the people I put in co-leader are actually wise on the server and they've actually been playing long enough to have different opinions and different like skill sets that actually weigh in when having a vote. And I just don't like LARPing, bro, because if you have someone who's good at speaking and they don't know anything about the server. I've seen many players like that, and they just yap, 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 yap. I had a guy, he told me that the way to get rid of Flortania in the nation is to break their farms so they have no way to eat. Okay, so I mean, I've seen a lot of players like that, and I feel like you have Jakers. He's one of the masterminds behind MEU. You have Echo, another one of the MEU members. You have a lot of old players as well. Trade 2020 has been around for a while from Tertia, and I feel like because of the people we have in co-leader right now, we have a very smart set of individuals, very intellectual when it comes to the server. So I trust them fully with everything regarding the nation, and I feel like that's the way we run our nation. If people go above and beyond, we promote them, and that's something that we decide together. It's not really like there's not a lot of larping to it. We just get to the point. If you help a lot, you get promoted, kind of thing, you know.
I see, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Panning back again, I realized that I've forgotten a nation to plug into the sort of nations around you prospect. There's the Inuit Empire, I believe. How do you
Mm-hmm.
feel about the Inuits? I know they've made a lot of movements into California. They've picked up a lot of players. How do you feel about their expansion, and how do you feel about them in general?
Oh, they're the goats, yo. Hello Hex is my brother, man. I mean, you could ask him; he'll say the same thing. We're like brothers in arms. They're the best, man. Like all our allies in North America are super dependable. I'm really grateful for that. You could see in Nova Prospect how we the turnout on that. Like even at like I was like 6 in the morning for me. I was sleeping. I was should have been sleeping actually, and we had NA players capping because that's how dedicated they were to both sieges. We had people pulling all nighters just for this, and you know it takes a certain level of dedication to do that. I'm a really appreciative. You know.
Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Now it's time. Now I hate to do this, but I have to do it in every interview. It's time for a
Mm-hmm.
shameless plug-in from S.E.E
Mm-hmm.
Paper.
Yeah.
For people who have made it this long in the interview, S.E.E Paper is now giving moderation. For example, if you have a treaty, we'll write it. If you have a treaty that needs to be worked out, we'll mediate it. And if you have two people who just don't get along and you want them to be friends, we'll help. S.E.E Paper, mediation in arms. Anyway, after my shameless plug-in,
Mm-hmm.
um, moving back into that sort of structure of Canada, would you say that your government's very trust-based? Like, I know people
Yeah,
from
we're like a friend
Ireland.
group, man. It's
Yeah,
it's not because the thing is when you introduce that level of life, you're gonna bring in the type of people who just play the server to take over. Like you bring in the. I mean, it's very mean for me to say this. You bring in the fox that conquers and the god of loves into your nation, and then you just have people who are playing to take over, and not people who are willing to play into a team. Because that's the thing. Canada, we're all friends in the nation. Like we have a group chat. We talk about IRL things. Like we're friends, man, and that's what makes it fun. If we were all cordial, like, and we're just like, "Hey, my name is Greymesa, and I am your leader, and you must listen to." It's so like, is this what's the point of playing? Because then you're just being someone else's dog. We're friends, and even if they're not co-leaders, I still weigh in their opinions because they're my friends, and I value what they have to say.
that's a very honorable sentiment. And not a lot of people can follow that, but again, I've seen this in many nations. It's very important to just have trusting, friend-based government because you know that you
Mm-hmm.
guys always have each other's backs.
Exactly. And that's the thing. That's the way Japan was run back when I was in Japan. I don't know about now, but in Japan, there's a saying that Foster used to say, like, you could give leader to any of the co-leaders at a minute's notice and you wouldn't get betrayed. It's like if S.E.E Sniper wanted to give leadership to, let's just say Foster for like 2 minutes because he needs to make a town somewhere, it would be fine because none of them, it's like there's such tight knit of a group. And that's what I wanted to replicate in my own nation, you know? And that's what really brought me into playing CCNet a lot because Japan back then it was like a friend group. It was like a group of people who were really dedicated to beating Russia, and it was really fun to play in Japan back in the day, like in the Shimatsu sieges and the Bangun sieges. And when I made the nation, I wanted to bring that same kind of energy to Canada. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I see it. Entering
Mm-hmm.
into minute 23, is there anything else that
Oh
you want to
God, it's
say?
been hell.
Because, I mean, we don't really like having really long interviews, but again, this has been a joy to have you on stage. Is there anything that you want to say
Yes, sir.
personally about Canada, about yourself?
Honestly, man, I just want to do my own thing, bro. Like, if yeah, as well as my nation, dog. Like, if the great fat rolls of Fake Four are like listening right now, I know Fake. You have to lift them off like the fat rolls off your ears right now. Open them right now. Listen to me, bro. If you just like leave us alone, bro, I don't care, dog. Like, I mean, no CSU. Bro. It's like that easy. I don't really care. I just want to play. I want to build, bro. But I'm not gonna vassal to you. I'm not gonna rejoin the coalition just for that, bro. I mean, I'm trying to do my own nation. And you know that Fake. I told you this before, man. If you just woke up and you stopped, like, if you just stuck to going to your teammate sieges and like maybe not siege any nations, I don't think we'd be here, little bro. I'm not gonna lie. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say, bro. Like, if you just leave us alone, I really care that much about you. I could care less what you do with your nation, bro. You could expand it all you want, make all the forts you want. I could care less. I'm not like territorial like that, bro. And I don't think my teammates are actually, bro. Just like back off a little, bro. That's all I want to say.
All right,
Please.
well, I mean, thank you, Gray. It's been an honor to have you on the interviewing today. I mean, it's a great interview. I think that you really educated a lot of your points. I think that you guys are very honorable, and some people might just not understand that, and I think it's good what you're doing. So, thank you, Fake. And again, any
Thank
last
you.
thing you want
I
to say,
appreciate that.
or I'll just cut off the interview here.
The True Strong and Free, that's all I'm going to say.
All right, everybody. Gray Mesa of Canada. Thank you.